That thing doesn't make very epic cold starts. Psych, I thought he put diesel fuel in this. Tripping. Holy smokes, that had some pressure on it. Giggity giggity. Let's go planting. I'll take it. But welcome back to the good old Southern IA. Thanks for joining us along on another planting vlog that we have going on this spring. Today we're going to be back into the planter tractor, and that's what I'm loading up some hybrids for. We're going to some of our best dirt, and we're going to put some racehorses out there. Because the weather sticks advised me to go plant corn. But if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Ben Van Rokel. I run this Iowan Farmer YouTube channel. I'm a 28-year-old second generation farmer working on a family farm along with some other things. And I'm taking you guys along to show you the trials and tribulations for young farmers in this day and age. And basically what this spring planting vlog's been about is taking you guys as the public along with us during one of the busiest times of the year, where we put the fertilizer down and the seed into the ground to harvest a crop next year. In yesterday's video, you guys saw me put the last bit of anhydrous down that we think we have to pull. I believe everything else was pulled by the no-till guys yesterday. So all of our anhydrous, which is our source of nitrogen for the corn, is on for the year. But we can't forget, in honor of this planting vlog, I've decided that the first planting vlog video to reach 2,000 likes, I'll be giving away one of my Van Rokel Family Farm Services hats. And then of course, once we reach 25,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away another giveaway with a hat and probably something else as well. So the plan for the day, like I said, we are going to be headed back to the planter, and we are heading to some of our more productive ground in one of our fields. So what we have in the planter right now is a hybrid called 65A17. It's kind of a jack of all trades hybrid. It'll move across different soil types pretty well and will hold its own on tighter ground or less productive soil. So that's why I planted that at the last farm that we were at. I think there is maybe about 8 bags of that left in the planter. I got to pull a couple of them out for my plot. And then we're going to be loading that back up with some racehorses. Before I load it back up, however, I'm going to plant that 65A17 into the tighter soils of that farm, kind of giving us a little bit better yield chance by putting a workhorse on those soils versus the racehorse. You'll see us load back up. Today we are going to be loading up with 64A20, which is a new hybrid for Champion this year, and 60A20, which is also a new hybrid, which I planted a little bit of last year. Both of those in my trial plot last year, which we got a sneak peek at them, did fantastic. So I've got high hopes for them. And then my farm right here last year, where the hybrid plot was, got absolutely annihilated by bad weather. If you guys were longer term subscribers, you already know this. It was actually planted on May 6th, which would have been yesterday last year, so this time of year. And it got 10 inches of rain in 10 days after being planted, had 2 hailstorm events on it, and just had a really rough year. And still managed to yield out at 181 bushels to the acre. That hybrid that I planted across this field was 61A19, which was a new hybrid for him last year. And other than the tops of it coming out at harvest time, which doesn't make it look that pretty, but really is kind of a good thing because it really reduces actually the wind drag that you can have in later standing corn. It did really darn good, like really darn good, at 181 bushels dry last year. And so I've got a little bit of that sitting right there on that pallet, and if I can work it in today, I think I might throw like 4 or 5 bags of it into the planter, and that will kind of give me an idea of the 3 top hybrids that I think we're going to be pumping out big yields with: 60A20, 64A20, and 61A19 down here in this area. See which one's going to win. But that makes it look as like we're loaded for bear, so let's get to the planter. So we sat there and chatted about how I wanted to kind of plant this field, where I want to put the hybrid that I have on the planter. And so he's going to fire that thing up and get to moving. That thing doesn't make very epic cold starts. I wouldn't say that I'm really in a high pressure push here today. I can get a lot of this farm planted really pretty darn quickly. It's relatively flat, lots of back and forth, you know, so I think it takes less than 8 hours to plant this farm and get going. And since I'm not in really a big push here today, I'm gonna kind of just let him do what he needs to get done. That way I can plant this in a nice way in terms of putting the hybrids where I want to put the hybrids, and making it so that it's planted sensically. That way when we're harvesting, the rows aren't going like I was chasing a rabbit through the field. But there is no doubt the first thing I can do is fire this thing up, get everything ready to go, get the computer put in here, get my prescriptions loaded, get my hybrids into the planter, and then I'll probably head over to what's an 8-acre patch that's kind of sectioned off from the main field. That is laid up and it is ready to go, and it's tougher dirt, so that's where I want this hybrid. Psych, I thought he put diesel fuel in this. So, I'm gonna go get diesel fuel. This is the silver lining of this little tripping. Holy smokes, that had some pressure on it. See that? Now that sucker shot up. Silver lining is, I get to see how much diesel this barrel holds. So 2 fill-ups, 1 stop. Plus this gives Andrew a little more time to stay ahead of me. Is this what I'm supposed to tell the viewers, that the likes for the video equal back scratches for you? Yeah? Well, before we unfold here, I'm going to take a chance to answer one of my viewer questions. This one goes out to you, Denver. Denver's a young guy that's been watching my videos for a really long time. He says he's a John Deere operator, so he doesn't know how one of these New Hollands work. Case guys, you might be thinking, well, this cab looks eerily familiar, which it does. So here's the big difference, and here's how this one works. This is a 16-speed. I think it's a 16-speed, either a 16 or 18-speed power shift transmission. On a case, you have a left-hand reverser that's up here that it takes a rocket scientist out to figure out how to get it out apart and into neutral, and that's how you shuttle back and forth into forward and reverse. Obviously, down here on the floor, we have a foot throttle right here. It doesn't get used unless the big blue heeler decides that he's going to try and lay on this side and then lays on my foot throttle. You have your left side brake and right side brake to lock up the back end. That's pretty standard on a row crop tractor, unless you get into a articulated 4-wheel drive tractor like the one that Andrew's in right then it only has 1 brake. Right there is my steering wheel tilt, and it will telescope out actually too. And then that's obviously the clutch. So the really nifty part here is that if you put this into forward, you just have a trigger right here on the back of it. Like some of the newer tractors actually have really gone to this style. You shove it forward, the tractor's now in forward gear. So you then can select your ranges by going up a gear, down a gear by these 2 levers right here, or 2 buttons right here. This display says, hey, I'm going forward and I am in 7th gear. Middle is obviously neutral right here, and then we go into reverse. I believe there is 4 reverse gears, and yeah, that's pretty simple that way. I really like that because otherwise, like on a case and stuff, your gears are in the same spot, but then your throttle is also controlled by that. So as you shove it forward, you get more throttle. That comes into the whole preference thing. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like the fact that your gear shift, selector, and throttle is all in the same situation. I don't like that. The revs of the engine or throttle of the engine's all controlled right here. It's really well designed. You can just rest your hand on it and move it up and back and forth. Really like that. So hopefully that answers a couple of your questions, Denver. I don't know what kind of tractors, like if you're an R series and stuff. I've never ran an R series John Deere, so I'm not sure how everything works on that. but I'm pretty sure their power shifts are pretty much just like the 8110s, except for now they have like an E23 transmission and stuff. But like I said, hopefully I answered your question there, Denver. Thanks for watching. We always name our farms after the last person that owned it. I don't know how you guys do it, but that's how we name our farms. Yeah, you're not trying to plant. I don't got no drives on, so you can't plant. Here's some interesting stuff here, is that I can tell you what my average population is going to be for this prescription. 31,984 seeds an acre. That's pretty darn close with multiple different, I think highest population on this is 34.5, lowest population is 30, and so a lot of people like to plant at 32 or 32.5. So we're gaining 5 bushel to the acre with the same amount of seed. Pretty cool. Thank you if you see. That vac's always reading about half of what it should be, but it's really the right vac pressure. Giggity giggity, let's go planting. Just do this. Is that a new cord that it's decided they don't want to have? Okay, so the first 6 acres is in. The down pressure might be a little bit high right now, but it looked like it was laying in there pretty good, but I'm gonna check. Right there he is. He's in nice moisture. To the top of the seed, we're bang on right at 2 inches. I'll take it. So second viewer question of the day. Someone asked, why do you plant the headlands or the end rows first, when then you gotta drive over them and cause compaction and everything else like that? It might make it easier for emergence. Now granted, yes, everything you just said there is true. It would make better sense to plant the interior of the field before the headlands, and with technology that is possible. And if I was on really square fields or something like that, that might be something I'd be interested in trying someday. Problem is, with our very oddball shaped fields, which you guys will probably see, this is one of our better fields actually. It'd be very hard to do that because you need to have RTK, because you're wanting to use your auto row shutoff perfectly. You never know where your passes are going to be. So the short answer to that is that it is completely possible to do that, where you plant the interior of your field before you plant the end rows. It's just something that I haven't done yet. I should also clarify that's really not a common practice around here. The lunch wagon's here. About out of seat, I'm trying to leave a check strip. So I'm kind of working on my end rows because Andrew's in this field, so I'm kind of going slow. And he's tilling the field. So I'm kind of going slow and working it methodically. So see, I got like 100 pounds on one side and 134 on the other. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to plant my end rows and then see how this is about connected here. So I'm wanting to go like straight through there. So I'm trying to kind of make myself a check strip. So which check strip is for me to be able to quickly tell if one hybrid did significantly better than the other. And the best thing for me to do with that is like put them right next to each other, the same population. The problem is as soon as I run out of this hybrid, I'm out of it for the day. So I need to kind of get myself some end rows in and then make one of my AB line passes through the middle of the field, which I've already saved and made. So that's not a big deal. And then what I'll end up doing is I'll probably match whatever seed I have in this planter with a couple of bags of like 61A19 or something like that, and then make another check strip. It's just like I need to get some of them out of there for what am I trying to say? The plot. Yeah. I gotta plant the plot still, so I need some of this hybrid for the plot. But is that a serious bagging position?
It worked.
He's got both paws on you. What I'm doing here is that I'm actually kind of dividing this field in half because Andrew hasn't planted or has got to work on tilling the other part of it here. And I'm about out of this hybrid and I want to leave a check strip. I've got 115 pounds on one side and 68 in the other. So like we've talked about earlier, I changed the hybrid to So like we talked about earlier, I changed one of the hybrids to a check, and then since I struck my AB line earlier, I'm now dividing this field in half so I can work on this side of the field, and I'm going to be exactly in line with these 12 end rows that are up here in this end. Well, that will be good during harvest too, is because then we can have a spot that we know we can cut right through this field and make it all the way to the back part of the field and be able to take the corn out of the back easier. Putting in that check strip here, we're going back up to the front. I should have some coolant in my truck, but this tractor is running about 214 or so, and it really should be running about 212. It's bumping the hot range, so we're gonna let it cool back down a little bit while we mess with some of the seed, and then we'll probably turn it off and see if I can't get some more coolant into there, and then we'll probably maybe even take the air hose and blow out the radiator a little bit, see why she's running warm. Coming. A little further. That'll do it.
Guys, it's time to give away a sticker. And today's sticker is from the plant vlog day 12, which was titled Psyched Out by the Rain. And the winner of the sticker for that video is going to be Dave Cronies? Sorry, Dave, I have no idea how to say your last name. But Dave says, if you can't pronounce the coffee and a half hour later you're driving in circles singing God Awfully Bad, that might not be coffee you're drinking. Thought that was pretty funny. Seeing Ben all hyped up on caffeine is quite something. So thanks for the comment, Dave. Ben's email is down below in the comments. Send him an email and we'll get you a sticker sent out. Thanks for commenting.
I think it's low on coolant, so I can't have that much pressure on it. Low on coolant. It looks like I've got the issue of it running a little bit warm under control. That's great. We were just about break 60 acres, so there's a little over 100 acres to go on this farm. The problem is I got about 2.5 hours before it supposedly is now going to rain. Started sprinkling on me here, so now I'm racing the tackiness of the wheels at 112 acres of 165 or something like that. So unless Mother Nature starts to shine upon me here and she doesn't let go, well, I don't know if we're gonna get this one done. But it's kind of funny, it's like every time I've planted this farm for what I can seem to remember, that dang broke. I've been racing the weather. It doesn't seem like I've ever had the chance to leisurely plant this farm. I thought I was today. Got her flowing again. Another trick, if you guys ever have ASD delivery with hydraulic drive and you have a row not get seed or something like that, you gotta go out there like I did. And then if you just stay there and you start back up, you'll notice you got like a 2.5 foot gap or whatever. Pick your planter up, back up, drive forward, back through there, won't leave a gap, won't grow weeds. Here's where the issue is going to come in with this rain. I've got the field in pretty good shape to like stop, you know, and I can get back to it pretty well. I've been keeping the field as square as possible, not putting in too many inrows. The issue with the rain is going to be just the physical aspect of, we're not going to get like stuck in the tractor or anything, but it's starting to stick a little bit. And if it really starts to stick, it's going to start changing the depth that the seed's getting planted at. And you don't want to have like inconsistent seed depth. So that's what I'm watching closely. When you get into these situations, it's like you push it harder and try and get everything in before it rains, or do you try and stay steady if it doesn't rain, or do you stay steady because you know you're going to plant better and then just come back after it rains? Down to 40 acres, 43 acres probably. And we're doing, now I'm pumping out 31 acres an hour. So, Mother Nature give me an hour and a half. 132 acres. 30 acres to go. All right, we're at 135 acres. Gotta turn the lights on. There's rain on the hood, obviously, dust, and I can't barely see out any of my windows very good. Depth gauge wheels are staying really pretty clean, not, you know, ideal 100% here. We're on the back and forth now. We're locked in at 5.5, 5.6 miles an hour. We're gonna chew through it. We're gonna chew through it and get it in. Raining on me again, or sprinkling on me again. Yeah, he might be right. There's what I got left. Not much. Here's what we've gotten done so far today. That's where a picture of the hybrids and how all that's laid out. We can do that real fast too. There's all our different hybrids. Oh, zoomed us way in there. There's where I put in that little check strip right there with all the heavy hitters. She's in there, so it'll be fun to see this fall. But we've got it. We've got her about kicked in the butt. Or nipped in the butt. Nipped in the butt, not kicked in the butt. This by the hair on my chinny chin chin, and as you can't tell, I don't have very much hair on my chinny chin chin. But I have 4 pounds of seed in one side. I have 7 pounds of seed, 2 pounds, 0 pounds in the other tank. I ain't got much seed. So we've also got the main part of the field done. I've got 12 rows to go back for about 250 feet. It's starting to rain. Mother Nature let us get it in. Well guys, that's gonna do it for us down here in southern Iowa today. We're gonna back this corn wagon in here, unhook it from my pickup truck. I gotta admit, that's the most I've felt rushed to get a crop in quite a while. I didn't know it was supposed to rain. My weather stick didn't tell me it was supposed to rain. So once it got dark and I looked at the forecast and it's like, son of a gun. So the rush was on. We went after it. Let's get this thing in here. Get it unhooked. Go home, take a nap, do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Okay, 221 miles. Come on. You're not gonna work, Pen? 221 miles on 16.28 gallons. $221 divided by 16.28. Oh yeah, you guys want to see something interesting that I learned the other day? So you know on iPhones how like the calculator has no back button? If you just swipe, it deletes. So watch that again. Swipe, it deletes a button, deletes one. Did you guys see that? So if you swipe, it deletes a number. I never knew that. Imagine all the time that I've wasted. 13.57 gallons to the acre. Or the month. Yeah, G over the Christmas. 13.57 G MPG. Not bad. Not bad.